My name's Dave Dubeau, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewsyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content. Hey folks, welcome back. Today, zooming in from beautiful San Jose, California, Franco Perez is a real estate entrepreneur of a different stripe. In fact, Franco does something very, very interesting. He focuses on affordable housing in very unaffordable areas, specifically in Silicon Valley, which is one of the most expensive areas in California, in the States, in the whole wide world. And we're going to talk about how he helps out with affordable housing. So Franco, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Dave. Excited to be here.
All right. So people are going Silicon Valley, affordable housing. Yeah, I don't see how that works. So tell me a little bit about what kind of affordable housing do you guys focus on?
Yeah. So it's interesting because it's in a lot of pockets and areas, Silicon Valley is kind of ahead of a lot of the country in technology and that type of thing, but they're also ahead with like the problems that we're going to face in a lot of these metro areas. So housing is a big topic. And what sucks is from my background, I didn't realize how important housing was at a young age. I came from a poorer family where my parents split up. I had to immediately start working and paying for rent every single month. I remember working 3 jobs at a time just to make ends meet and cover helping my mom and my sister pay for rent. But that being said, I bring that up because I knew how important it was to have a secure housing situation. But if we look at the world today, it's kind of you either rent or you own. And in areas like the Silicon Valley or San Jose, average rent for a 3-bedroom home here is about $4,000 a month.
Wow.
And an average single family home in this same county is about $1.6 million, right? So how does someone get out of the rental rat race of paying this rent and all of that and one day hope to buy a $1.6 million home when in order to enter into that, it's if I wanted to put 10% down, it's $160,000 and it's about $8,000 a month to cover my
To pay
month.
the mortgage and property taxes and everything. Okay, good. We know what the problem is. What's the solution?
So got into affordable housing, tried doing stuff with the government, didn't like that very much. And I accidentally stumbled across mobile homes. And from what I thought was like, meant for like criminals, drug dealers, from all of what I see on the media, I actually came
You were
across.
probably watching a show from up here in Canada called Trailer Park Boys.
That's one of them. That or Breaking Bad or Eminem music videos.
There you go. Yeah.
They all make this whole thing look bad, which is kind of what everyone perceives mobile homes are. But the more I got into it, I came to realize that there's so many families that are first. There's so many mobile home parks sprinkled throughout all these metro areas that we don't know about. It's already there, and the other is that there's families that are able to have their home start and their financial security within these homes that are located in expensive areas, and they're able to feel stable because it's like a hybrid ownership where they own something and they do pay a space rent, but they're able to have that security of having a secure housing payment. Long story short, I was an agent. I then focused on helping people get out of the rental rat race into mobile homes and then help them build their wealth and buy into real estate. And now we got famous for converting old single wide homes and turning them to what we call sexy mobile homes, which are these large, luxurious, they look like multi-million-dollar mansions inside, but they're in mobile home parks. So that's now what we're doing, and we're helping people build wealth that way. And I know the numbers seem very high compared to most of the country, but we also do the same model in Texas and Atlanta where the numbers are half that half that pricing. And
Well, we don't even know what the numbers are in San Jose. So
oh yeah.
you're talking about a $1.6 million average house price for 3.2. What does it look like for a mobile home in a mobile home park?
Yeah, yeah. So for our area, for like an average like semi-new mobile home would be about like $400,000, and you have a space rent of about $1,100 a month. That being said, instead of putting down $160,000 for a single family home and paying 8,000 for a mortgage, you're instead putting $40,000, which is a bit more attainable and more realistic. And then your monthly mortgage is about $4,000 a month. And then on top of that, you end up paying the space rent, property tax, and the and insurance. You're paying about $5,000 a month. But with that, it's $1,000 more than the rental model. Where in the rent model, you're completely, at the end of 5 years, you don't have anything that you own. Where in the mobile home model, you're actually paying down a mortgage. You're paying towards something that you own, and these homes are appreciating at a high value, and you're also getting tax benefits too. So I like to help people understand that it's more of a stepping stone out of that full rent model, now becoming a hybrid model where two-thirds of that payment is actually going towards something that you own. And once they live there for 3 to 5 years, they have an asset and equity that they can sell and now enter into the real estate market.
Okay, I'm getting it. I'm picking up what you're throwing down there, my friend. So, question for you, just a detail. Back when I was doing creative deals and whatnot, mobile homes used to be kind of hard to finance
Hmm.
because the bank didn't consider it real property because it's a I used to affectionately call them it's a piece of tin on top of somebody else's dirt. So what is the situation like now, especially for these $400,000 mobile homes for getting financing?
Yeah. I should also mention, because I don't want the listeners to feel like this is irrelevant to them, because I'm talking about the Silicon Valley, but like in Atlanta, single family home prices could be like 400,000, rents could be like 2,000, and the mobile home is still a middle point at like 150 or 200,000. So it's
Got
still
it.
valuable in other metro areas as well, and this is
Yeah,
still.
so it's about half the cost of buying a house or less.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and then that being said, ever since, or like, yes, the truth is financing for this has been very difficult throughout the years, but that's part of why we do a lot of lobbying and protections around this to make lending a lot easier. Now we have access to 25-year mortgages with
Hmm.
10% down. And we're starting to get to the point where 5% down payment is becoming more and more acceptable. So there are large lenders that are doing loans for these. It is a state by state basis, but it's becoming more and more popular.
All right. So back in the day, you used to be an agent helping first-time home buyers get into these kind of properties and buy these properties. Sounds like you're not doing that anymore. Now you're more on the helping them to improve the properties once they've purchased them. Tell me a little bit about that. How does that work, Franco?
Yeah, so yeah, at first I was an agent, and I was basically being trained to help the wealthiest people I can help get the most expensive homes that they can get, or their second or third investment property. I just didn't feel good about doing that for some reason. I wanted to help people that were in my shoes back then, and I got into mobile homes basically because I was actually genuinely helping families that really needed like help and were super grateful for every transaction. And that, to me, even I made less, became more fulfilling for me. So that was kind of my focus. But now, being in only mobile home stuff, we still have a team of agents that help transition people out of renting into their first mobile home and then transitioning to their first piece of real estate. But now, come to realize the value of a lot of these mobile homes in these communities. It's it's interesting because people don't actually know how to evaluate these homes.
Hmm.
There's a lot of these homes that were built in the 1970s where housing density was not important, where population was not as drastic as it used to be, but you have single wide homes sitting on lots that, we have 800 square foot homes that are sitting on lots where we can build 1,800 square foot homes,
Wow.
right? So a one bedroom, one bath. there's a family of three that have their kids growing up. They want more square footage. They can't yet afford buying a single family home and they like the school that they're in, they come to us. We help them evaluate how to convert their old home to a new one. Usually in our area, it's like $330,000 to do so. They put a mortgage to do that. They convert their old home from a single wide to a double wide. Now they spent the 330, but their new valuation, if they chose to sell this home, could be around $500,000 of value. So they build equity by spending that amount, by doubling, more than doubling their square footage, plus they up the quality of construction of their home, better insulation, better heating, plumbing, HVAC, roofing, all of this stuff is new. So the appraised value is much higher. And through that, we're able to kind of build wealth for a lot of these low income families that don't really have an opportunity to benefit from real estate.
All right. Well, I'm just kind of figuring out numbers in my head. So if they're getting into the mobile for 400,000, let's say we're talking about your area in Silicon Valley, and so now they're paying 5 grand a month between pad rent and mortgage payments, and they want to upgrade and make the house bigger. So they invest another 360,000. So
Mm.
now they're up to, let's say, 850.
There might be
Uh,
a little bit. Let me clarify something that I might have made confusing. So there's this full spectrum of quality of homes. So there's the old single wides that maybe someone paid like 60, $70,000 in the past, but are now like $100,000 or something like that. And then there's the newer homes that, like, let's say a 4-year-old home could sell for about
oh,
$400,000.
okay. I got it. So the
So
old crappy single wides are going for about 150 in Silicon Valley. Is that what I'm understanding?
correct.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot more sense. All right. So now they invest 350 or whatever it is to make it a double wide and much bigger and all that kind of good stuff. So now they're all in for 500, but now the property's worth closer to 650. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, in our area, they're still valued around like 500,000. So usually someone that's already lived in these old mobile homes have paid closer to 50, 60 for what they got for
Okay. So they've been in
got
there for a long
it.
time.
Yeah.
Now it's time to take them and spruce them up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we have some people that want to sell, like that have lived in these old ones. They want to sell it as a new home, and they're able to become profitable from
Yeah.
because it's a newer home.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense. Okay. Well, that's cool. So how long have you been doing this side of the business for, Franco?
Yeah, we just started our business about 4 years ago.
Hmm.
Um, and we did our primary focus in the San Jose, like the Silicon Valley area. Now
Hmm.
we're doing stuff in LA, San Diego as well, and doing consulting for other markets such as Austin and Atlanta also.
Very cool. So approximately how many of these kind of properties are you guys helping out with per year, let's say in California?
Yeah, so in this, I just did the numbers in our county. So in NorCal, we did about 90 transactions, and then we did about 42 new home constructions. And SoCal, we just started that like about 8 months ago. We've only done
Okay.
about 4 or 5 homes, but it's an
Hmm.
interesting market in that like Malibu area where the real estate averages are like 5, 6 million, and um, the new mobile homes in the parks are going for like $1.3 million, which is insane. So
Yeah, and I think it's going to get even worse after all the fires.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough, and a lot of the yeah. So there's a lot of orders that have come from those fires too, which
Hmm.
kind of comes to the probably the next topic too is something that we don't realize about how difficult construction is in our area. A lot of the reason why real estate is expensive is because it's very difficult to build new housing. We don't realize that a lot of our skilled workers are 40 years old and older and going to retire. And a lot of
Mm.
our young generations don't want to work with a hammer. They don't want to go into plumbing or electrical work. And we've been building homes the same way for over 100 years. Now it's kind of come to a point to where we need to adapt and change. And if you think about it, I like to use this analogy of cars, is cars were originally only built for the rich and wealthy to use. It was only until we built it on an assembly line in a factory that we were able to make it accessible and affordable for everybody. And that's exactly what we're doing with housing in this same model, where usually you have to transport labor, you have to transport lumber and material, electricians, and get permits and all of that and on site. Where now we're building it in a factory on an assembly line. And if you see our YouTube videos, the home's actually moving on an assembly line.
Well,
And
that's what a mobile home's been
exactly.
forever, right? I mean,
Hmm?
they've all been built that way since the
Yes.
70s, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's, but the thing is that it's always been kind of a very like low quality material paneling, that type of thing
yeah.
too. So now we're really upping the level of the way we design these homes. We have like waterfall, full marble countertops and that type of thing, and really starting to make these homes more sexy, right?
Yeah.
Because even a lot of our policymakers and stuff still picture this metal home, this paneling, this
This
weird.
tin shack, yeah.
Exactly, like
Yeah.
like you mentioned earlier. But now we have to really change the stigma around that and build something luxury. And that's what we've been doing on this assembly line, is still not just focusing on mass production, but still having a high level of quality and still pumping out a very affordable home at the end of the line.
Awesome. Franco, people want to connect with you and find out more about what you're up to. Where should they go?
Yeah, all of our stuff, you can Google us at Franco Mobile Homes, or our websites, www.franco.tv.
Awesome. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me, Dave.
All right, everybody, take care. We will see you on the next episode. Hey there, I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewsyou.com. Now, at moneypartnerformula.com, we help real estate investors to create a process for predictably getting capital so they can do more deals without relying on hard money lenders or the banks. We do this by building them a private capital marketing system. Now, if you want help turning yourself into a big money capital attraction machine, then book a call with our team to see how we can help. Just visit moneypartnerformula.com to find out more. All right, take care, and we'll see you on the next interview.